She emphasizes, Chinese people suffering will continue spending to support state-owned enterprises. Trade Analyst predicts, China Shock 2.0 is coming for the U.S. economy. Chilling reality, China's thriving electric vehicle industry sees 8 cars burst into flames daily. China's Belt and Road ignites anger, Chinese citizens targeted in terror attacks. It's all covered in today's China Truths. She emphasizes, Chinese people suffering will continue spending to support state-owned enterprises. As reported by Chinese state media, CCP leader Xi Jinping presided over a meeting of the CCP Central Committee Political Bureau today to assess the comprehensive report from the second round of inspections. Following the 20th CCP National Congress, 2 rounds of inspections have taken place, encompassing all state-owned enterprises, SOEs, and central enterprises. The meeting underscored that SOEs serve as the CCP's crucial material and political foundation. Commenting on this issue, Mr. Wang Weiluo, a Chinese water conservancy expert residing in Germany, proposed that Xi Jinping's current approach to governing the country can be encapsulated as the 5 sons passing the imperial examination: the gun, controlling the military; the pen, controlling propaganda; the knife, controlling the police and special forces; the money bag, controlling finances; and the abacus, controlling data. While SOEs should be part of Xi's money bag, this money bag appears to be infested with pests and riddled with holes, causing money to continually leak out. Xi's material and political foundation has long been rotting away. According to a report by the Wall Street Journal, since Xi Jinping assumed power in 2012, CCP law enforcement personnel have meted out punishment to roughly 5 million individuals. In 2023 alone, this relentless campaign has engulfed various sectors, including finance, food, healthcare, semiconductors, and sports, resulting in the downfall of dozens of high-ranking officials, bankers, hospital directors, and even soccer executives. Mr. Xing Hong, a Chinese economist and the head of the Beijing-based Unirule Institute of Economics, has previously expressed that state-owned enterprises, SOEs, are not an appropriate form of ownership in the business realm, as they stand in opposition to the government's responsibilities. Xing Hong advocates for the complete withdrawal of SOEs from the business sector. He pointed out that between 1994 and 2013, SOEs did not contribute a single penny to the Chinese people. On the contrary, they received government subsidies amounting to hundreds of billions of yuan. In reality, it is not the SOEs that are making any contribution to China, but rather the entire Chinese people that are supporting these SOEs. The Unirule Institute of Economics was initially an independent think tank, but it was subsequently shut down by the Chinese Communist Party, and Xing Hong now struggles to make his voice heard. Nevertheless, Mr. Xing Hong's words from more than a decade ago have not outdated. The CCP is currently intensifying its efforts to expand SOEs and suppress the private economy, regarding SOEs as an important material and political foundation for CCP rule. Xi Jinping's so-called inspections of SOEs and central enterprises are nothing more than an attempt to maintain this thoroughly rotten material and political foundation. As long as SOEs exist, the entire Chinese population will be obliged to financially support them. Consequently, from the perspective of the Xi Jinping regime, it is necessary to continue to brainwash the Chinese people with the CCP's ideology. Daniel Lees, a professor at the University of Freiburg who studies Chinese history, holds the view that for Xi Jinping, the ongoing anti-corruption campaign is inspired to a certain extent by Mao Zedong's concept of continuous revolution, which aims to prevent ideological decline within the Communist Party and throughout society. Therefore, the key lies in maintaining constant pressure. Under this model, there can never be a final endpoint. Trade Analyst predicts, China Shock 2.0 is coming for the U.S. economy. Trade analyst Michael Stumo, CEO of the Coalition for a Prosperous America, is warning that the U.S. economy may soon face a China Shock 2.0 event, similar to the one experienced in the early 2000s after China joined the World Trade Organization, WTO. Stumo believes that due to limited consumer demand and slowing infrastructure projects in China, the country will focus on expanding exports to meet its 5% economic growth target, with the United States being a prime target. Stumo argues that Chinese firms are finding ways to circumvent tariffs imposed by the Trump administration and maintained by the Biden administration. These companies are shipping exports through other countries or establishing factories in Mexico and the United States. Additionally, Chinese companies are taking advantage of U.S. subsidies, such as the Inflation Reduction Act tax credits, while also receiving subsidies from their own government. Stumo warns that if no action is taken, the U.S. could face an auto apocalypse or a solar apocalypse, as Chinese companies undercut and outcompete U.S.-based manufacturers. The original China shock period, which followed China's accession to the WTO, had a significant impact on the U.S. economy. A 2016 research paper by economists David H. Otter, David Dorn, and Gordon H. Hansen estimated that about 2.4 million U.S. manufacturing jobs were lost between 1999 and 2011 as a result of increased Chinese imports. However, other economists have offered differing views on the extent of the impact. For example, a 2017 research paper by economists Robert C. Feenstra and Akira Sasahara estimated that while about 2 million U.S. jobs were lost during the China shock period, approximately 6.6 million U.S. jobs were created from growth in U.S. exports during the same period. The Cato Institute, a libertarian-oriented think tank, argues that Trump-era trade tariffs against Chinese imports did not reverse losses in the U.S. manufacturing sector and instead contributed to net manufacturing job losses. Authors Scott Lincecum and Arjun Anand concluded in a December 2023 report that while certain U.S. manufacturing jobs were lost and some communities may have been disproportionately impacted, the overall effects of the China shock remain subject to intense scholarly debate, especially when considering pre-existing economic trends, gains in American service jobs, benefits for consumers, and increased U.S. exports. The Tax Foundation, another policy think tank, also opposes the use of tariffs to protect the U.S. economy. Author Erica York wrote in a December 2021 article criticizing both President Trump and President Biden for maintaining tariffs on Chinese goods. Tariffs are ultimately paid for in large part by consumers and businesses in the domestic economy, can lead to stagnation as protected industries are shielded from competitive pressures, and invite retaliatory tariffs from other nations that come with additional costs. Chilling reality, China's thriving electric vehicle industry sees 8 cars burst into flames daily. The Chinese Communist Party has been investing heavily in the electric vehicle industry for over a decade, resulting in China becoming the world's largest exporter of electric vehicles. However, this has led to dumping practices and boycotts from other countries. In response to the European Union's anti-subsidy investigation into China's electric vehicle industry, Chinese Commerce Minister Wang Wentao will lead a delegation of company representatives from BYD, SAIC, and Geely to Europe in April. The delegation will visit France and attend a business forum in Italy, where they will discuss the issue with EU officials, including Italian Foreign Minister Antonio Tajani. Reports also suggest that Chinese leader Xi Jinping plans to visit France in May, with economic and trade matters being the primary focus. The EU launched its anti-subsidy investigation in October 2022, citing evidence that the influx of cheap Chinese electric vehicles poses a significant economic threat to Europe's electric vehicle industry. France has taken a particularly strong stance, demanding a fair competitive environment. The investigation is expected to conclude in November 2023, but the European Commission may impose temporary tariff measures earlier. Companies such as BYD, SAIC Group, and Geely have already been investigated by the European Commission. China's electric vehicle exports have grown rapidly, with the country exporting nearly 5 million vehicles in 2023, surpassing Japan as the world's top vehicle exporter. Among these exports, 1.2 million were new energy vehicles, representing a 100% year-on-year increase. This growth can be attributed to the CCP's Automotive Industry Adjustment and Revitalization Plan, introduced in 2009, which provided substantial subsidies for electric vehicles. Over a 13-year period, the central government's total subsidies amounted to 150 billion yuan, about $20.8 billion, with additional subsidies from local governments. Manufacturers of high-range electric vehicles could receive subsidies exceeding 100,000 yuan, about $13,848 per vehicle, sometimes surpassing the production cost of low-end models. The CCP also offered incentives for private car purchases, such as exemptions from local purchase restrictions and subsidies of up to 120,000 yuan, about $16,618 for pure electric vehicles. In response to China's practices, the EU currently imposes a 10% tariff on Chinese electric vehicles, while the United States levies a 27.5% rate. Some U.S. lawmakers are pushing for even higher tariffs to protect the domestic market. Additionally, the Biden administration's Inflation Reduction Act includes a Buy American clause, disqualifying consumers who purchase Chinese-made electric vehicles from receiving subsidies. China's car graveyards. China has become the world's largest producer and seller of electric vehicles, thanks to the Chinese Communist Party's significant investments over the past decade. In 2023, China's automobile production and sales reached 30.161 million and 30.094 million units, respectively, representing a year-on-year increase of 11.6% and 12%. Chinese electric vehicle manufacturer BYD surpassed Tesla to become the world's largest electric vehicle seller in the fourth quarter of 2023, with its sales volume increasing by 62% for the full year and its net profit rising by 81%. BYD's cars are exported to nearly 60 countries, with a strong presence in Europe, where they are known for their competitive prices. A report by the non-governmental organization Transport and Environment revealed that 19.5% of the electric vehicles sold in Europe last year were made in China, and this proportion may reach 25% in 2023. While most Chinese-made electric vehicles currently entering Europe are produced by European and American companies' Chinese factories, such as Tesla, Dacia, and BMW, the proportion of Chinese domestic brands in Europe may reach 20% by 2027. However, China's rapid growth in the electric vehicle sector has led to overcapacity issues within the country. Multiple media outlets have reported the discovery of car graveyards filled with thousands of abandoned, seemingly brand-new electric vehicles in various Chinese cities like Hangzhou and Guangdong. The Chinese government has acknowledged that this problem stems from the disorderly development and overcapacity of the new energy vehicle industry. The export of Chinese electric vehicles has also faced criticism and scrutiny from other countries. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen has also denounced China's subsidies for distorting global market prices and production patterns, as well as threatening the stability of global supply chains. The abandoned electric vehicles pose environmental concerns and highlight the challenges associated with battery recycling. The batteries contain heavy metals and other hazardous materials, and improper recycling can threaten the environment and the health of recycling industry workers. The cost of recycling 1 ton of batteries is about 8,500 yuan, while the market sales price is only 9,000 yuan, resulting in low profitability. Despite these issues, battery recycling in China is still in its early stages. The future outlook of China's new energy vehicles. In the first quarter of 2023, reports from China's Emergency Management Department indicated a 32% increase in spontaneous combustion incidents in new energy vehicles, with 18,360 cases reported, or an average of 8 fires per day. These incidents are primarily attributed to defects in battery systems, malfunctioning cells, electrical system failures, and charging station issues. The progress of China's new energy vehicle industry is currently impeded by the limited lifespan of domestically produced batteries and the availability of microchips. Another critical factor limiting the development of new energy vehicles in China is the relatively short lifespan of domestically produced batteries. Li Bin, chairman of NIO, warned that over 19.4 million new energy vehicles in China will have their batteries exceed the warranty period within the next 8 years, potentially costing trillions of yuan to replace. The average lifespan of Chinese-made power batteries is only 240,000 kilometers, significantly lower than international standards. In addition to battery life, China's new energy vehicle industry also faces the challenge of battery recycling and disposal. As the country entered a period of mass production and export of new energy vehicles in 2019, the number of batteries needing to be scrapped is expected to increase drastically in the coming years. A European expert suggested that the ability to recycle batteries should be a factor in importing new energy vehicles, with scrapped batteries being sent back to the exporting country for processing. If implemented, this proposal could significantly increase the cost of new energy vehicles. Furthermore, China's new energy vehicle industry is grappling with geopolitical containment, particularly in terms of access to advanced chips necessary for the development of fully autonomous driving and AI technology. The United States and other Western countries have imposed restrictions on high-tech exports to China, posing a significant obstacle to the country's new energy vehicle ambitions. Furthermore, due to the CCP's history of information surveillance, U.S. President Biden has asserted a firm stance against allowing Chinese-operated computers on American roads. Consequently, some analysts suggest that while China's electric vehicles may show significant progress in the next 5 years, their advancement may be hampered in the long run due to these challenges. China's Belt and Road ignites anger, Chinese citizens targeted in terror attacks. Pakistan has recently experienced a series of terrorist attacks targeting Chinese Communist Party-built Belt and Road project sites, particularly in the southwestern province of Balochistan. The Balochistan Liberation Army, BLA, has claimed responsibility for these attacks, citing their opposition to Chinese investments in Pakistan. The core project of the CCP's Belt and Road Initiative in Pakistan is the Gwadar Port, located in Balochistan, a province that has been fighting for independence for decades. Columnist Wang He and Canadian-Chinese writer Xing Shui suggest that the CCP's investment in Pakistan is aiding the federal government in exploiting and oppressing the local people, leading them to direct their terrorist struggle against the CCP and Chinese citizens. The CCP's aggressive promotion of the Belt and Road Initiative has led to political control, economic dependence, debt crises, and violations of sovereignty in participating countries. The lack of transparency in these projects has also resulted in significant corruption, with many politicians receiving bribes from the CCP. A report by the Australian think tank Lowy Institute reveals that large projects under the CCP's Belt and Road Initiative are stalled, with total spending in Southeast Asia falling to $29.6 billion between 2015 and 2021. China's economic troubles have led to a lack of confidence and financial resources to invest in these projects, many of which are essentially CCP loans that are likely to be abandoned. This abandonment is expected to lead to a deterioration in bilateral relations between China and the participating countries. The report also suggests that frequent changes in the CCP's political and policy directions have resulted in decentralized decision-making, while political instability is often linked to corruption and weak governance. Additionally, the internal political struggle within the CCP is intense, with the distribution and division of interests in these projects leading to severe internal contradictions. Mr. Wang He believes that the combination of China's economic decline, internal political instability, intervention and competition from Europe and the United States, and the fierce opposition generated by the CCP's Belt and Road projects in host countries has turned the initiative into a noose around the CCP's neck. As a result, the Belt and Road Initiative is expected to continue shrinking, with an increasing number of abandoned projects. Let us know your thoughts on today's topic by leaving a comment below. If you found this video helpful, please share it with a friend. It inspires us to continue creating more quality and reliable content. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more interesting insights from China Truths. Thanks for tuning in.